Platinum Games Network, the Boston Celtics taking on the Milwaukee Bucks, Game 5 of the second round in the Eastern Conference playoffs. The Boston Celtics are currently down 1-3 and are facing elimination. Now, I am the biggest Boston Celtics fan there is. I have been for the past 19 years. I'm not 19, but I have been for the last 19 years or so. And by the way, this is NBA Live 19 on the PlayStation 4 Pro. Oh my God, Eric Bledsoe making Kyrie look silly early on. So I just want to talk about some of my disappointments during the series and what I think is really going on with the Boston Celtics. First and foremost, though, I do want to say that if they are to be excused for their performance, then the reasons will be that the Milwaukee Bucks are the only team this year to win 60 games in the regular season. They did finish number one. They do have home court advantage. Now, that being said, it's not an excuse, but what I will say that can be somewhat of an excuse is that this squad has only been playing together for less than 2 seasons. And I don't think there's any teams that have such high expectations after only playing together for such a short amount of time. If you remember, in the summer of 2017, the Boston Celtics released 11 out of 15 players. That was basically a rebuilding year. And they did end up with more wins the following season with all their new players. But the point is that this team does not have a lot of experience playing together at all. So I think if you want to really measure the success, you got to give them a 3-year window, a 4-year window, and then we'll see what kind of an impact they have as a unit. The Warriors, the Bucks, a lot of these teams have been playing together for a while in some form or fashion. Now, let's talk about this series without making any excuses. What has been happening this series? The Boston Celtics have started games playing really well, moving the ball, sharing the load, allowing everybody to get into some kind of rhythm. It seems like in the beginning of the game, they stick to their game plan. And at some point in the second half, maybe when they're playing from behind, but at some point, Kyrie Irving, Mr. Superstar himself, starts playing really bad basketball. And what I'm talking about is he starts inbounding the ball, taking it full court, attempting a layup with 4 other people, and providing the Milwaukee Bucks a chance to get a fast break going. Then we get the ball back. He inbounds it, goes full court, and once again attempts a poor layup. It looks incredible when Kyrie Irving makes it. Yeah, Kyrie's amazing. Look at this layup. But when it's missing constantly and he keeps doing it, it's horrible. And I've actually heard him say that he needs to take more shots, which I think is disrespectful to his teammates. It kind of shows that he doesn't have any confidence in them for whatever reason. What needs to happen is we need to go back to playing the way we start games, which is moving the ball, allowing people to get a rhythm. Some people want to put the blame at Gordon Hayward, Terry Rozier, but it starts from the top. And when I say it starts from the top, I also blame Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens is probably this league's best coach, but he has not been showing it during this series. It is his job to step in and basically check people like Kyrie when they're playing poorly. To remind them to go back to fundamentals, moving the ball. And we have not been seeing that. I just hope that tonight in Game 5, the Boston Celtics move the ball. I don't mind losing. We're not going to win every game. But I hate losing when I know we're not playing the way we should be. Dumb decisions with our possessions. We need to play off the shot clock. 24 seconds. Find the best shot at the end of that. Take it. If we miss, cool. It slows the game down for any run or attempt at a fast break that the Bucks are making. But when you constantly waste your possessions in record-breaking speed, what are you doing with the ball? You're basically just giving it back to them, giving them an opportunity to run with it. I'm also disappointed in the Boston crowd. I've been watching the Rockets-Warriors series, and that crowd is the main reason why they're playing the way they're playing. They could attempt a layup, a free throw, and the crowd goes crazy and almost brings the house down. And I'm not getting that same kind of energy from the Celtics fans in Game 3 and 4. And that's disappointing. I think Kyrie needs to hold himself accountable and wake up and play a lot better. If he chooses not to re-sign with the Boston Celtics, I'm going to consider Kyrie to be a coward. Because, honestly, there's not many situations in the league like this. And the way he's been playing, the way he finished last year's season with injury, he should consider himself to have unfinished business and give himself an opportunity to make up for that. The Boston Celtics have enough talent to still win this series, to win the next 3 games. But it's only going to happen if we play the way the Boston Celtics play, the way we played during the regular season. By moving the ball, getting other players in a rhythm, and establishing some kind of flow. Kyrie Irving was talking a lot about flow in Game 3. He said the penalties slowed down the game. Well, your shots are hurting your teammates and preventing them from getting into a flow. And for the record, if Kyrie Irving does decide to leave, I still think we'll be a playoff team next year. Whether that be with Terry Rozier, Kevin Durant, who I believe we have an opportunity at landing. I still believe that there will be a competitive team that can compete in the East. Only time will tell. I don't want to trade for Anthony Davis. I would like if Anthony Davis signs with us next season, but I don't want to trade one of our assets for him. I think Jason Tatum is miles better than Anthony Davis and will continue to develop and prove that over the course. We need to keep him. If we can't re-sign Kyrie Irving, then we need to sign a Kawhi Leonard. We need to sign Kevin Durant. And it's not far-fetched. Kevin Durant, I believe, mentioned that the only other team he was considering besides the Warriors were the Boston Celtics. Hell, bring back Isaiah Thomas, even if he's not the starter. He works well in our system. He knows how to drive to the basket and shoot it, pass it out to one of his teammates if he doesn't have a good look. Kyrie Irving is not showing that he knows how to do that right now. And it's crazy that he talked about the toxic environment he experienced in Cleveland playing with LeBron James, and he's doing the same thing here in Boston, and it's very disappointing because I know he's capable of more. I would hope that we resign Kyrie, we sign Kevin Durant, and next year, hell, we sign Anthony Davis. But if it doesn't happen, I'll be fine with whoever we have because I'm a Boston Celtics fan till I die. I'm a Boston Celtics fan till this day. To this day. Even down 3-1, I still believe in my team. I still know what we're capable of. But they need to show it. And they need to show it particularly in the third quarter and in the fourth quarter. If they win the game in the first quarter, dominate. Make it happen, man. In previous years, I recognized the way the Celtics were playing. And a lot of teams didn't recognize it, which I think is crazy. I should work for the NBA. Instead of running plays or just going off whoever's open, they'll actually feed the ball to the same player for multiple plays at end. And what I mean by that is like they'll basically give the ball to Jason Tatum 7 straight times. They'll give the ball to Horford 7 straight times. Jaylen Brown 7 straight times. And they'll continue to alternate and rotate who gets the ball, and that'll create a kind of flow for them. Nice. That'll create a kind of flow for them and allow them to get into rhythm. We haven't been seeing that, especially in the second half. So tell me what you guys think. Do you guys think it's Kyrie's fault, Gordon Hayward? Do you think the Bucks are just the better team? Please tell me in the comments, because I think I know exactly what's going on. And as I said, I'm blaming Kyrie and I'm blaming Brad Stevens. And even the officials get some of the blame because of the way they keep calling some of these fouls, play after play. But the main people to blame, Kyrie Irving. NBA Live 20. I'm very excited for NBA Live 20. I've been an NBA Live fan since back in the day. I used to have the 2K games on Dreamcast, and then I switched back to Live. And Live was just always better. EA Sports games were always better for me. I used to feel like 2K relied too much on animations, and they kind of got rid of that a little bit in 2017. But you still see some incidents where it's all animation and barely about gameplay or engine. Like the way that the defenders will bump the players if they try to go around them and then they lose the ball. Like you see how now I just cut around Eric Bledsoe? It's because I had enough momentum and speed to do so. That's very hard to pull off in 2K. In 2K they move very slow, especially the bigs. I think somebody said it best. They said my 7-year-old runs faster than the players in 2K. And I think that's accurate. Like I work with kids, so I've seen it. That some of these kids run faster than 2K believes these NBA players run. You see how I'm continuing to move the ball and try to find the open shot? That's what the Celtics need to do, man. I wasn't doing too good early in this game, but if you look at the score, I'm only down by 7 right now, going into the half. Poor defense by Jason Tatum. So to talk about NBA Live again, if you look at my page, I have the first screenshots since it first came out. 15, 16. I have literally over 1,000 videos of NBA Live on my page. I just genuinely like the game more. I hate that 2K doesn't allow you to record their audio. If you try to record their audio using the PlayStation 4, literally all you hear are the whistles. They don't even allow you to record the crowd or the ball bouncing. I don't know what it is with 2K. They're so cocky ahead of themselves that they just refuse to allow people to record their game. And I think that's ridiculous. But even if they did allow that, I'll still play Live more as I have for the last couple of years because I just like the way Live plays. To give an example of the way the animations work in a 2K video game, I'll use NFL 2K5 versus Madden NFL 2005. If you want to pull off a spin in 2K5, when you press the spin button, the player does like a little shimmy. He takes a couple steps, and if somebody makes contact with him, then it'll trigger a spin animation. Whereas in Madden, if you want to pull off a spin, you have to lead the defender towards the outside and try to spin back towards the inside, which is how real football is played. Real momentum is handled. And that applies to NBA Live as well. NBA Live, there's a lot of stuff you can pull off that you can't pull off and confine. Baby try to go at me and know that she fine. Yeah, I'ma hit her in her line. And every time I do, I ask her to hit rewind. You know it's fine the way I drink all the wine. You know it's time the way I go and just chime in all the details, all of the new facts. Baby girl, you know you love it when I hit you from the back. Whoa, I know I get it too personal. Baby girl, don't you know that I'm going for personal? I don't know what rhymes with personal. I would have to think about that one. Halftime here. The Boston Celtics currently down by 10 against the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks are 1/2 away from advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals against either the Toronto Raptors or the Philadelphia 76ers. They've been moving the ball well, hitting shots from the three. Giannis has over 10 points with 12. Bledsoe and Middleton each have 5. The Boston Celtics have not been playing to the best of their ability, taking poor shots, particularly Kyrie Irving, but they still have a chance here. They've done enough to stay in the game. Kyrie has 8, Rozier has 6, and Horford has 4. Now, the difference in this game has been the assists. As I said, the Milwaukee Bucks are definitely moving the ball way better than the Boston Celtics and giving each player an opportunity to shine. In game 1, the Celtics kind of shut out Giannis and it disrupted their whole flow and offense. In game 3, 4, game 2, they've done a poor job early on, and then from there they could keep feeding the ball to Giannis and see if he could do something with it because they already have the lead, so they have nothing to lose. We need to get back to smart basketball. Let's do it tonight, guys. Even if you're not a Celtics fan, root for the Celtics. Believe in them so that you can at least get a good series. A very exciting series. And as I said, if the Celtics fail to advance, I won't consider the season a failure. I would wait and hold my tongue to see what they do next year because, as I said, this team has only been playing together for less than 2 seasons, less than 2 years. Will Kyrie Irving re-sign? What's going to happen? We'll find out. But now it's time for the second half. Let's see if we could get it together. As you can see, I don't play with none of the icons, including the shooting meter. I think the hardest one to not play with are the indicators, particularly on defense. But if you get used to the way NBA Live is, then, you know, you understand. Like, for example, they don't require you to switch when playing defense. And what I mean is that right now, as Giannis was inbounding the ball, even though the last person I scored with was Kyrie Irving, instead of keeping it on Kyrie Irving, it'll switch to whoever is covering the inbounding player. So it makes it that much easier. Good job, Horford. Make who you're going to be once it starts. And then from there, you'll usually switch to whoever's closest to the ball. And as far as the shot meter goes, I'm sorry, I don't knock anybody that uses the shot meter. To each their own. I know it would be very frustrating to not use the shot meter and miss a lot of your shots. But that's basketball. Sometimes you take good shots and they don't go in. What I hate is watching some YouTuber play one of these games. And of course he's using the shot meter because most people do. And he'll make some shot and he's here celebrating like he's Jordan. Like, woo! That's what I'm talking about! Yeah! Boy, how hard is it to shoot the shot when you have the meter on and you can see when you're supposed to release it? It would be much more exciting, rewarding, and exhilarating if you make a crazy game-winning three-pointer without the shot meter. Right or wrong? But as I said, I don't knock anybody that uses it at all. To each their own. I just personally don't like it. It looks, when you use the indicators and you have all these indicators on, it's too distracting for me. It takes away from the beautiful gameplay. It makes it look more like a video game. When you play like this without the icons, it looks more like real life. I love the detail in NBA Live. As far as NBA Live 20 goes, I'm very excited to see what they do. NBA Live has progressed nice since 2013. I always measure games in trilogies, and what that means is that, oh man, I thought Horford was the center, so I try to pass it to him. Wow, that was crazy. So what I mean by that is, like, NBA Live 14, 15, and 16, I consider that part of one trilogy. And 16 was really good. Then they took a year off to focus on NBA Live Mobile, which paid off because it has millions of downloads. It's one of the top 3 downloadable games. And then they came back with 18 and 19, and now NBA Live 20 would be again the third one of a trilogy. If they switch to the Frostbite, it might just be for NBA Live 2021. And I'll tell you why. One reason is because by that time, we'll probably have PlayStation 5 in our hands, or the next Xbox, and it'll be the perfect time to cap the trilogy with Live 20 and then switch to the Frostbite engine with Live 2021. I personally feel like they really can take over. There's still going to be a bunch of people that play Call of Duty because people don't play, but there'll definitely be a lot of people that still play 2K because some people just stick in routine or they like to follow the trends. But there'll be a lot of other people that switch to live and enjoy what they have, like many of us already have. Ironically, my NBA Live videos usually get more views than my 2K videos. And why is that? And it's because, one, a lot of people have 2K, so they're not looking up footage of 2K all day. And two, because people are very interested in live. Some people want live to succeed. Also, if you look at the thumbnail for NBA Live versus NBA 2K, a lot of the time, NBA Live looks more like a real-life broadcast, especially with these ESPN camera angles, which are accurate per arena, accurate to each arena. Come on, Terry. Oh, come on, somebody. There you go. Get that in there. So, again, to talk about NBA Live one more time. To talk about NBA Live versus 2K. EA has done it before. Tony Hawk used to sell more copies every year than most annual games. They were dominating. Tony Hawk 2, Tony Hawk 3. Tony Hawk 2 took over the world. PS2. Then Tony Hawk 4 was just excellence. And then they had, I believe, the Underground series. And they continued to reinvent themselves, and they were dominating. All it took was EA to come out with Skate, which was much simpler than Tony Hawk, but it was refreshing. And they basically killed Tony Hawk off completely. It's not impossible to pull off, but it all depends on the product, the marketing of the product, the confidence in it, and so forth. And I believe EA Sports can get it right, but it's not going to happen overnight. Hell, 2K used to be in the same position that Live is in now. 2K was struggling to pull in the NBA Live fans. And even though they were getting good reviews, they weren't competing with Live. Until Live allowed them to capture the market when Live got canceled in 2011, or 2010 rather. So it's not impossible. Hopefully, they finally get it right, or people open themselves to trying it. And we'll see what happens from there. Come on, Kyrie. And the reason I said Call of Duty earlier, I was going to use Call of Duty really good right now, especially Call of Duty Black Ops 4. It's incredible. It's the best Call of Duty game of all time, in my opinion, even though it doesn't have a campaign mode. But Battlefield is also incredible. Battlefield 5 might just be the best Battlefield game of all time. And if you compare them, there's a lot of things that Battlefield does better. But a lot of Call of Duty players don't even know that Battlefield exists because they're just so used to buying Call of Duty. Call of Duty. It's all about Call of Duty. Call of Duty. Call of Duty was the 2K before 2K. That being said, oh, nice shot. That being said, I really believe that they could one day lure the 2K fans over, but it needs to be done right. Like, they need to do it. I don't know what they need to do, but it needs to happen. One of the biggest things that I do allow people to complain about when it comes to live is the shoulders. Some people try to say that the player models are hideous and they're ugly and they're horrible. I think the player models look better in live than 2K for the fact that players look more like themselves, with the exception of the shoulders. Giannis is a perfect example. Look at his shoulders. I know his shoulders are wider in real life. Other than that, I think live wins in almost every department. There's a lot of options in 2K, but those are a lot of options that I don't care about. And some of them have nothing to do with basketball. A lot of people praise the commentary in 2K and the gameplay. I don't like the commentary too much in 2K because they want you to believe that it's amazing commentary. I highly disagree. Simply because it doesn't sound too realistic sometimes. Especially when they have a guest speaker. They'll go on for a while talking about the most random stuff, and it doesn't sound natural. It sounds like they're in a recording studio. I've heard countless of interviews with these players, and I've heard countless games being commentated on in real life, and 2K's commentary sounds like it's in a studio. And while they're telling these long stories and talking to Kevin Garnett or Kobe Bryant or whoever, there'll be like a crazy dunk in the game and they won't even acknowledge it. They sacrifice play-by-play commentary for these very long, elaborate sequences of commentary, which I personally don't like. I personally prefer play-by-play. So even though the live commentary gets very repetitive sometimes, I still prefer it because for the most part, it's play-by-play. Play-by-play is meant to be. Calling the action and so forth. I did not mean to pass it off, but I got it back and then I got stolen again. Only down by 11. I can still win this game. It's not going to be easy. I need to stop throwing the ball that deep. Okay, Tatum. So all that I want from this series is that we go down playing the way we play. Do not shoot the ball so early in the shot clock. Wait till it gets down to 24, 23. Do not hog the ball. Share the ball. Do not take dumb shots when you're being covered by 4 people. Do not leave players wide open. Do not get fouls on every play. If we don't do none of those things and we, do the right things, pure fundamentals, share the ball, run the shot clock, call timeouts, stop runs, all that stuff. If we do all that, I almost don't care if we win or lose because at least we played the way we played, the way we should be playing. But if we go down, because Kyrie keeps laying it up against 4 people, full court, and Brad Stevens is not calling timeouts, and nobody's playing defense. If that's how we go down, I'll be very disappointed, and I'll be excited to see him leave. Because we was doing fine before he got here. We made it to the Eastern Conference Finals before he got here. And last year, we made it to the Eastern Conference Finals Game 7 without him. So, that being said, I really hope my team gets it together tonight. I hope we play the way we are meant to play, the way we play at our best. And I hope we have a good game. And I do believe if we do those things and we win one at a time, we could come back and win the series. I haven't been playing too poorly. I'm only down by 8. The Bucks are a hard team to beat. But this win in the NBA Live is getting a little bit harder to pull off as we're running out of time. Chris Middleton has been unguardable. I don't know who we could put on him. Marcus Smart should play better in his second game back. He has to get the jitters out. I actually would have opted to not start him, not play him at all in this game. And start him if we advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. Oh, I'm glad I didn't forget. There's one more person I want to blame for the Celtics' misfortunes, and that is Paul Pierce. I personally don't like to guarantee wins on my teams. I don't like to bet money on teams that I like, simply because I'm very spiritual and I don't like arrogance. I don't like being overconfident. I don't like thinking that you're sure that anything is guaranteed in this life. What I instead like is people that remain humble and are honest and open to all possibilities. So first, Paul Pierce goes and says, oh, it's over. It's over after one game. I don't think anybody thought it was over after one game. Not a Boston Celtics fan, nobody. Paul Pierce is the only one saying, it's over, sounding stupid. And then, after the Celtics lost in Game 2 and in Game 3, Pierce wants to say, oh, Celtics in 6. Celtics in 6. He sounds like that stupid goon that I went to school with that doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about. Excuse my language. That's how he sounds. Like he doesn't know what he's talking about, and he just thinks he's cool by sounding so bold and arrogant and so forth. And that's not what it's supposed to be like. That's not what life is supposed to be like. Anybody that has that mentality, and under that same notion, Paul Pierce has been looking foolish for comparing himself to D Wade, and it's something that people do subconsciously when they try to suck away the attention that somebody else is getting. D Wade is on his road to retirement, and Paul Pierce is trying to bring the attention to himself. Like, what is that? Pierce, come on. Stop. Just stop. You sound stupid. And now, I don't think anybody thought that Paul Pierce had a bad career. But now he's actually tainting himself as a person and as a player by all the shit that he loves to talk. He's talking out his ass. What he said? He said he thinks he was... I don't even think it was that he said he was a better player than D Wade. I think he said he had a better career than D Wade. I don't remember exactly what the quote was, but I don't even know where it came from. Like, there's nothing wrong with being confident. I'm very confident in myself. But you have to remain humble, or else it's all for nothing, that confidence. And sometimes you got to keep it to yourself. For example, in class, I might think I might be the smartest. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I am. I'm not going to raise my hand and tell everybody I think I'm the smartest, because what's that going to do? You got. Now, last but not least, I wanted to show you guys some detail in this game. Some detail that I love. Now, back in the day, basketball games, sports games, they wouldn't even have to model inside of the players because they wasn't really wearing clothes. They were just skins that had jerseys on. Now, if you look inside, you kind of see a little bit of his torso. I don't know if it goes below his rib cage. I don't think it does. But something I do like when it comes to the level of detail in this game is that they actually have nipples. I know that sounds like the craziest thing. Some people just click the video off now. But that's detail, man. For them to have Al Horford's nipples in the game, that's dope. That's fire, man. And I think that next year, if they use the Frostbite engine, they could actually make Al Horford's nipples look more real. So hopefully they get that. All right, obviously I'm joking, but it just goes to show detail. You gotta love that detail. The jersey goes up. They actually modeled the nipples, even though they didn't know whether or not they would actually show in a game. If you look here, you see the cords, all the electronic cords, the cords behind um, the the board right there. Look at the security guard. He has a gun on his waist. A gun. NBA Live is the only basketball game with a gun. The action, the LED lights on the side. There's a lot of accuracy in NBA Live. And I feel like there's not enough attention brought to some of the detail. For example, the retired jerseys. We all know Giannis's jersey is going to be up there one day. World Champions 1971. It's pretty cool, man. NBA Live was the first game to have all these cameramen and accurately depict these tables here. Then 2K started doing it a little bit with the cameramen, and they still don't have these tables looking accurate the way they do in real life. And maybe Live doesn't either, but it definitely looks more accurate in Live. You see the security guards by the exits. I'm sure 2K does that as well. Either way, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos. Root on the Celtics. I'm going to be rooting them on hard, and I'm going to clap and love them, win or lose. But I do have faith that we have enough talent to win this series still, down 3-1. It's all going to come down to what they do, whether they want to win it or not, whether they want to play good basketball, realistic basketball. I don't know. We're going to see, man. I don't know what Chris Middleton's going to do. He might just go off. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos. Go Celtics! Go Celtics, baby! Yeah! Go Celtics! Ah!